Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world, and welcome back to another beautiful, wonderful, incredible, hopefully healing and relaxing episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host. If you know me already, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you again. If you're new here, which a lot of new people have been showing up, very excited to have you. Love that you're finding me. Welcome to the family. This is going to be a good little episode. I can feel it in my bones. We have a lot coming up astrologically, interpersonally, for me personally, obviously. Also, I feel like this hat is giving Trump a little too much. I'm so sorry about that. Listen, as a Midwestern girl, I'm trying to reclaim the camo. I love a camo moment. I think it's just the orange that's throwing me off. It is a Chapel Rowan hat. Please, it's a Chapel Rowan hat. Midwest princess. Best believe I need to rep my girl always, okay? But this hat came in the mail this weekend. That was my highlight of my weekend. I've had a pretty chill weekend so far. I feel like usually when I get on these episodes, since I do record on Monday and I work like 4 days up until Monday being like quote unquote my Saturday, which would be a normal working person Saturday. Usually Saturdays are for like, okay, sleeping in, no work at all. You're a little exhausted. Maybe you like don't want to interact with anybody. Valid. So usually I come on these episodes and I feel like I'm like a little too burnt out. But honestly, this week I'm feeling surprisingly enough pretty fucking good. I don't know if I've just hit like a sweet spot in my mental illness where I'm hitting the mania a little too hard and I'm just powering through the pain, or if I'm actually sane. One of the two is happening. Either way, happy to be here, happy to hopefully inspire you with that energy. And yeah, we're gonna get into all of your questions. If you guys didn't see, since last week the main episode was mainly just me chit-chatting about my trip to Austin, Texas, which love. I did upload the Patreon episode, the Patreon only podcast, public on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Smoke Sesh Shoddy. Just so everybody could get a little bit more Hannah content, a little more Smoke Sesh content. What's better than that? And I do the Patreon episodes a little differently. I feel like it's more interpersonal. It's more sit down Q&A, YouTube style. And if you would like to become a Patreon member and you're wondering, what do those episodes look like? Go give it a little listen. Give it a little watch. I do answer every single person's question on Patreon every Thursday, basically. So if you want your question answered, if you want to join the family, if you want to get more content from me, patreon.com/smokesashshoddy. I also saw one of you comment, I love that Spotify has comments now. That's super exciting to me because previously they only had polls. And my Spotify rep was like, oh yeah, no, we have comments. Go check them out, whatever. I love seeing what you guys have been commenting. Obviously, it's nothing but sweet stuff. So thank you for that. So I don't have more of a mentee bee than I usually already do. I appreciate the encouragement. You guys are the sweetest people on the earth. I love that we've garnered like a little family of just like peace, positivity. Like we're trying to escape whatever craziness nonsense is happening out there and find like a little glimmer, a little shine of hope. And I'm glad that we found it here. But one of you guys was like, I've been listening for 3 years, which I've been doing this podcast for like I believe 3 years. And she's like, every episode I can see Hannah's like prefrontal cortex completely form a little bit more, like I can see her brain forming and balancing a little bit more, which has me giggling because those first episodes were pretty chaotic. I was a little unhinged. I was also unemployed, so best believe I was just like off the rails. But now I'm a little more stable. I'm able to give a little bit more advice. I'm a little more sane, able to organize these a little bit better. So I'm glad that, my brain forming more is helping these episodes. And then also one of you guys were like, wait, what's your Instagram? I stopped plugging my Instagram on here just because I figured everybody was following me. But if you don't follow me, Instagram.com/Hannah Marlene is my Instagram channel, hello girl, Instagram page, where I post a lot, or I try to post a lot at least. I love to get creative. I love to share like my inspiration, whether it's small things in life or big things in life, recipes, baking, reels, funny little quotes, whatever it is, I do like to share on there. I'm a big Instagram user. I used to be like only a TikTok user, and recently I have fallen off of TikTok. TikTok just has not been enthralling me the way like I want an app to. Do you know what I mean? So I've stopped really engaging with TikTok, especially like using it. And so when I talk about addictions, I always talk about like going cold turkey is always the hardest thing in the world. Listen, I've been addicted to many substances, many things, anything you can get addicted to, babe. I've been there. Trust, okay? The addictive gene is strong in this one. So social media has been very addicting for me. I mean, it's addicting for everybody. It's meant to be addicting. And the biggest thing that I found that I was addicted to, which I feel like most people find, is TikTok. A lot of people like ask me questions like, how the fuck do I stop scrolling? How the fuck do I get off TikTok? And I do think when you have like a addiction, that is going to be a little bit more of a downfall. And also like if you cut it off cold turkey, since it is an addiction, you're going to feel the absence of its presence. You do need to find like a healthier addiction. You got to supplement the addiction with something healthier, which you're like, Hannah, no, I don't want to be addicted to anything. It's like, okay, great, sure. But also I do think healthy addictions do keep yourself running and do keep you functioning as a human. Maybe it's okay, my healthy addiction is eating good or working out or volunteering, whatever it may be. Sometimes you got to supplement a little bit. So my slightly healthier addiction recently has been, I don't scroll on TikTok anymore because I found when I was scrolling, I was just losing hours of my time and usually leaving that app feeling more panicked than fulfilled. And sure, I can go on Pinterest, I can go on Instagram. I love those too. I do use those pretty frequently, as well as like Tumblr. I read people's Substacks pretty often. I am a Patreon subscriber to a few different people. Those are like the healthier apps I choose. But when I want to get into the slightly healthier, still unhealthy addiction, I have been playing Just to Impress. I've been like, okay, no scrolling. Let me go 3 rounds, VIP server, Just to Impress. And my life has been so much more fulfilling. I find that I'm on my phone less. I'm scrolling less because I'll get a couple rounds in, whatever, and then it'll be a round that's like a boring theme. And I'm like, okay, I'll get off my phone. I'll go find something else to do. It is more long form because the rounds are like 5 to 10 minutes. So I have been loving that. It's been a great redirection. I've also been watching my parents' dog. They're out of town. They're in Alaska right now, living their best lives. My dad's somewhere in an ice cave, caverning on ropes. I don't know. They're fucking insane. They're both Geminis. I'm a Gemini. It's a lot of energy. I pick up a lot of my habits, my silly little habits from them. Thank you. But I have realized, especially like taking care of a dog, I haven't taken care of my animal in a long time, but taking care of a dog, like, oh my god, these dogs, they will see something and immediately all their attention's on it, whether it's a squirrel, a person, whatever it may be. And finding that healthy addiction to kind of retrain their brain and redirect their brain is so important. And I think humans are the same way. I mean, we're all animals, let's be real. And our brains are going to function a little bit similarly. Sure, maybe not a one-track mind like a dog, but also like when we do have those one-track mind thoughts and we want to go in a certain direction, if we just cut out that thing, it's going to be very hard to not want to focus on it. So finding that little bit of healthier thing to supplement with, even if it's still in the same realm, but you know it's going to help you kind of redirect and maybe not be as addicted to what you were, I think those things are so important to have in your life. I think those things are so important and so necessary to do. But anyways, if you want to go watch, if you want a little extra episode, go watch it on YouTube, youtube.com/smokesashshotty. And with that being said, that's really all I have to catch you guys up on. Nothing really exciting happening in my life. Pretty much chilling, trying to kind of get into the fall vibes. I'm really not fully there yet. This Tuesday, actually the day I'm uploading this, we have a Pisces full moon lunar eclipse. Oh my god, girl, what the fuck does that mean? Holy shit, is the world gonna end? Some of these astrologers that I see, it's like, you better buckle up. We have the craziest thing happening of all of 2024 this week. It's like, girl, shut up with the fear mongering. Like, you're as bad as Trump. Let's be real. You cannot sell fear. You cannot profit off of people's fear. I mean, you can. It's easy to do. But, like, goddamn, you're a bad human for doing so. You know what I mean? I will never fear monger. Okay? I will never fear monger. I will warn if you need a warning, but I will never fear monger. I think fear is such a tactic and such like a harmful tactic that people engage in way too often, and I'm over it. Like, I've been surrounded by too much fear recently, and like, I would like a little bit of peace. And I do think this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces isn't as scary as maybe some people are making it out to be. Pisces is such a dreamy sign. I'm a Pisces rising, so I do feel this pretty fully. It is a water sign, so they are flowing constantly. They're constantly in this like other realm. I feel like whenever I meet a Pisces, it feels like they have one foot in like this dream realm and then one foot in reality, and they're kind of stuck in this middle ground. And especially with this full moon, which is a harvest moon, we are approaching the fall equinox, so I am still celebrating summer as much as I can until the fall equinox. But with this full moon lunar eclipse specifically, I feel like it's having to do with interpersonal relationships and how much are you sacrificing for other people and how much is it taking a toll on you. I did upload some journal prompts to kind of prep for this Sunday on the Patreon if you need something. I'm also doing a full write-up on the Patreon of maybe some spell work, what to look out for, how to protect and precaution yourself, as well as how to go about this full moon as a learning process. So if you want a more in-depth dive, go join. But also I will give you a little bit of a tidbit about it. But I feel like this full moon is really challenging us to ask ourselves, like, is our people pleasing tendencies actually helping? Do you know what I mean? Like, we are sacrificing a part of ourselves to try and heal another person when that other person maybe doesn't want to be healed. What are you trying to solve inside yourself to fix that for that person? What are you trying to heal in yourself through another person? And maybe how can you just redirect that focus back on yourself instead of trying to put so much into other people? At the end of the day, everybody is their own human. Everybody is in charge of themselves, period, point blank. Everybody is kind of, they're their own parent, you know what I mean? And you can't parent other people, or else you're going to be constantly chasing this invisible thing and you will never feel fulfilled in life. If we are constantly, like I said, Pisces, living in that other realm, we're never going to be able to step into our own reality and our own true reality and really discover what the fuck we need and who the fuck we are. So this Pisces full moon, like, what are we chasing? You're not being forced to care. You're just being forced not to hurt. Compassion doesn't always require action, but guilt will cause action to compensate for that. It's time to get your spirituality in order, and that comes from a loving and accepting place instead of guilt and overly empathy. That's not healthy. Your fear of not being accepted for who you are emotionally is entrapping you. I think there's a lot of freedom to find in this full moon. There's a lot of releasing to find in this full moon. Full moons are not known for manifesting. New moons are traditionally known for manifesting, but full moons are known for releasing. So ask yourself, like, what is one tendency, especially involving other people, that you can release that will kind of make you elevate to that next level of who you are as a human? It's a good one. I don't think you need to be so scared. And all of these astrologers who are freaking you the fuck out are not trustworthy people. Okay, there's two people that I really rely on, or three people that I actually kind of look to for spiritual advice. First person is Mercurial Sarah on Instagram. She posts some great write-ups, some great weekly forecasting, and does interpersonal things too. If you would like to buy something from her, I've been meaning to. I need to reach out to her. But she does weekly forecasting on things that you can look for astrologically throughout the week. I also really enjoy Spirit of Tali on Instagram. They are an astrologer. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that word. And I believe tarot reader as well. They do some great write-ups. A few of those quotes that I just mentioned were from them. Shout out. And then last but not least, Sai Swoon. She doesn't work very in depth with astrology, but she does have this quality that is very intuitive, and I love the write-ups and works that she does do on astrology and whatever is happening in the world around us. I find her very inspiring. So if you need resources, if you're looking for where to look, those are some people I recommend. And then if you want to hear what I have to say, more long write-up form, including images, thoughts, feelings, quotes that I am inspired by for this full moon, come join the Patreon, patreon.com/smokeseshshawty. You will be getting all of my astrology takes, Monday affirmations, Sunday journal prompts, and weekly extra episodes where I answer every single one of your questions, plus much more. But trying to make more content. Hopefully gonna have a vlog out soon. I've just been overworking myself a little bit. Oopsies. Thus is the American curse. But here I am, ready to have some fun. Enough rambling from me. Let's get into all your questions. Someone said age gap relationship, please. No. My demographic is actually like 98% women. Love, hey girlies. And then like the 2% that it is men, I feel like it's gay men, which love, hey. So also I feel like those women, well, not feel like, I know the stats, those women are usually in the age demographic of 18 to 28. Median range, I'm sure there's people relying outside of that. But if you are within the ages of 18 to 25, I don't believe an age gap relationship will work because, girl, your brain isn't even fucking formed yet. I know you're not stable. I know you're searching for somebody to help make you stable. But if a man or anybody is dating above the age of 30, if they're above the age of 30 and they're dating anybody in that 18 to 25 age range, it's simply because, and I know you've heard this before, but it is 1,000% true. That's why you've heard it so many times. It's because they can't pull anybody their own fucking age, or they have this weird fucked up thing in their head where they actually want to F a young girl. I'm not going to say a kid, but basically, so they're only dating young women. And that is weird and freaky. And I don't want you dating any freaks. I want you dating good freaks, but I don't want you dating any sort of weird fucked up freak who's going to give you some weird complex in your head for the rest of your life because you felt like you were taken advantage of by an older man. No. We are not letting men get away with this for so long. That's why I love the internet is making fun of Leonardo DiCaprio so much. Like, LOL, I turned 23. I aged out of his age range of dating. It's like, thank God we're making fun of that because everybody's becoming more aware of how much of a fucking weirdo freak that is for him to do. Weirdo freak behavior. And we need to call men out on weirdo freak behavior more often. You are not something special because a older man wants you. Every single older man, not every single obviously, but especially the creeps, want younger women. They don't give a fuck who you are. It does not make you special. It makes you a part of their kink. Please God, do set yourself free, okay? Be aware of the warning signs and don't get yourselves in these situations. Now, if you're in an age gap relationship and it's like, okay, you're 30, he's 40, 50, whatever. Once you get over like 25, later 20s, then I feel like the age gap doesn't really matter as much because the intellectual age gap is not as vastly wide, okay? 30 to 40, there's not a huge difference in like the way you're thinking and processing. Maybe in like financial status, maybe in like career status, because you just simply have more time. But brain wise, you're pretty much on the same level. 40 to 50, same thing. 50 to 60, pretty much same thing. Now, once you get older, like 80, 90, you start regressing a little bit. But when you are young, there is a problematic desire when men want younger women because they intellectually want younger women. Do you see what I'm saying here? They don't want someone on their level. They don't want someone who can think for themselves. They don't want someone who can behave for themselves. They want someone they can control and manipulate and look at and understand that they're young. And that's weird and gross and fucked up. Once again, please, for the love of God, does not make you special. It makes you a part of his dream. And that's so weird. Someone said, how the fuck do you keep going? College apps and AP classes are kicking my ass. Real. I fear we have no choice. You know what I mean? Every time I clock in, I look at my coworkers and I go, we're going to have a good day because we literally have no other choice. I will look in the mirror and say that to myself sometimes. It's like, sure, maybe I'm having a hard day. Maybe I'm having a hard time processing things. Maybe things are going difficult for me. Maybe I don't want to fucking be here. I don't want to be at work anymore. Oh my God, I don't want to be doing this anymore. But even if you stopped, the world is going to keep fucking spinning around you. Okay? The world's going to keep going. People are going to keep moving. People are going to keep eating. People are going to keep living their lives. I had to learn to find peace in that no matter what, everything is going to keep functioning as it is. No matter what, the world is going to keep spinning around you, even though you maybe want it to stop. It's going to keep going. So sometimes you just have to keep going as well. I'm not saying you have to show up and do 1,000% and let me throw on my winged eyeliner and look bomb and put heels on and get 100% in those AP classes and pass every single college app that I'm submitting. And you don't have to be functioning at executive level every single fucking day. That's not what I'm asking for you. I'm asking for you to simply get up and show up. That sometimes is all you have to fucking do, because the world's going to keep spinning and you got to keep moving with it. Or else, actually, not or else, just that's the fact of the matter. That is what it is. And I started to find peace in that, because sometimes when I felt like, oh my God, I can't do this, it's like, well, everybody else is doing it, so I might as well fucking do it as well. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that sounds harsh, but I think you're young, obviously, so the weight of the world does feel a little bit stronger, and the pull of that gravity does hit a little bit stronger than being an adult and understanding that there is like stability that you can find and that everything isn't so scary and you will figure it out. But unfortunately, when you're young and you are feeling the weight of the world, it feels like you want to give up so bad because you don't know what's on the other side. But in reality, the best way to find out what's on the other side and to make it to the other side is to simply show up every single day. Period. How can I help my girlfriend release her stress? Take her out on a date. Don't make her plan anything. Just actually, if she's a fucking control freak like I am, you can tell her what it is or tell her, hey, put on a cute outfit. Take her out. If she doesn't want to go out, buy her favorite meal, bring it home, give it to her, eat her pussy, go to bed early. It's that simple. It's that simple. I love when I found this thing. The straight male discourse online is them just arguing with women when women make it very clear what they want 24/7. Do you know what I mean? Men be like, oh, women are so confusing. It's like, no, you're making it confusing. Women make it very fucking blatantly obvious. Buy us flowers, take us out on a date once a week, every other week. Tell us we're beautiful once a day, hopefully more. Eat us out, throw some bomb dick our way. It's that simple. Pay for the date. And the men want to start this discourse like, oh, but like, should I go 50-50? Like, but like, what if, should I challenge her and make us go 50-50? Shut up. Shut up. If any man does that to you and tries to challenge you in that sort of way, what a fucking pussy. I'm tired of the straight male discourse online. Women make it abundantly clear what the fuck we want. And sure, not all women are the same, okay? But all women want to be romanced. Men are smart enough to understand how to romance a woman, how to understand the specific woman in front of them, to know their hobbies, their likes, their dislikes. And if you're a man and you're sitting in front of your woman, your girlfriend of however many years, months, and you ask yourself, wait, what does she like? And you don't know, oh my God, that's a red flag. Because women, I feel like, are so intuitive. We know what they want. We are aware. We are paying attention. And that's simply all we want from men. We want men to be aware and to pay attention and to want to care for us. It's that simple. And then men get online and be like, oh, but what if I went 50-50 with her? Bitch, shut up. That's not you specifically. That's just an issue I'm having with other people. No one in my life. It's just something that I'm observing from my single friends. It's like they're going out on a date and they're getting cocktails together, and they get 2 cocktails each, and the waiter brings them the bill, and the man goes, I'll buy one of hers. Bitch, what? You're gonna buy 3 cocktails and then make me buy 1? What the fuck, dude? Like, why not just get all of them? What a fucking weirdo freak. And I'm tired of this behavior. Okay, women, if you experience this and you're single and you experience that sort of behavior on a first date, that is a big red flag, because he's testing you on the first fucking date. He's playing a little mind game with you on the first fucking date. What the fuck is he gonna do 6 months from now? That is psycho behavior. Leave him at the fucking door. Okay, bye-bye. Anyways, what can you do to take some stress off your woman? You know her hobbies. You know what she wants. You know if she's an outside date kind of girl or maybe an inside date kind of girl. Buy her some flowers. Buy her a candle. Run her a bath. Buy her favorite food. Eat her out. Period. I'm 22, realizing that I don't know, or that I don't think I know who I am. How do I find myself? Ooh, this kind of goes in tandem with this other question, how to maintain a sense of self when you are constantly changing and growing. Here's the thing. We as humans have become so obsessed with labels in tandem with identity. And I'm not saying labels are bad. I'm not being Republican like, well, no, don't fucking, no pronouns. No. I think there are labels that are positive and that reinforce a sense of safety and community and reinforce a sense of identity that are very important, for sure, absolutely. But also, I think it's kind of trickled down into this effect where we've started labeling aesthetics and wanting to fit a certain type of label, a certain type of thing that is so identifiable and so straightforward and a perfect little category that we need to fit into. And we as humans are simply unable to do so. We are unable to do so because we are constantly growing, changing, shifting, adapting, evolving. That is important to do so as a human. If you find that you're not doing that, I challenge you and ask you, why are you not doing that? Period. You know what I mean? I am not the same person I was last year. Thank God. I am not the same person I was 3 years ago. Thank God I'm not the same person I was at 16. Thank God. But also, I carry all of those versions with me and inside me, and that is the stability that you're craving. I think you can find that stability in self by accepting and forgiving and understanding all those versions of yourself and taking from them what you needed to learn and leaving behind what you didn't. That's where you find the stability, not in perfecting the aesthetic or perfecting the labels or perfecting the identity. It comes in belief and understanding and forgiveness of self. That's where it stems from. You need to let go of the bodily idea of self and think about the spirit of it all. Who are you morally? Who are you, like, what are you dreaming for? What are you desiring right now? What are things that you've learned in the past that you're going to carry with you? What are experiences that you've learned in the past that you're going to carry with you or maybe leave behind? That's who you are as a human. Not these outward things. Sure, they're cute and they're pretty and they're fun and they're quirky, but that's not who you are, because that will ultimately change. And if you base who you are on these labels and these ideas and these aesthetics, you're going to find yourself constantly chasing the true version of who you are. And unfortunately, I don't think you will ever find it. I think you will be constantly chasing The stability that I have found in myself and in my identity has come from experience and has come from me like almost challenging myself in that sort of way. Sure, this year I'm going to dress this way, I'm going to look this way, whatever. Last year I looked different, I dressed different. However, I allow that space and that change to grow, and I trust in those intuitive choices that I do make when it comes to aesthetic, and I don't force myself to fit into certain labels. But also the baseline stability in order to feel that way and to feel that comfortability with growth and change and adaptation and evolving comes from belief and trust in self. And the best way to form identity and form that belief and trust in self is to challenge yourself through experiences, through hardships, through things in front of you that seem daunting but are actually really important to go after. I saw this quote on Tumblr. Hold on, let me pull it up. I think it will inspire a lot of you, especially in sense of self and identity and taking on fear. They said, "Sorry to break it to you, but you literally have to face your fears and slaughter them. Otherwise, you will live a small life that you do not want. You literally have to view your biggest fears and attack them head on. You have to fall into the abyss to find your way out. The easy path does not exist. There's no get out of jail free card. You have to allow yourself to die a spiritual death over and over again in order to reinvent yourself into the person you are actually supposed to be. And you have to be painfully honest with yourself and the people around you. It's horrible, but it's truly the only way. 1,000%. Unfortunately, challenge really is the best thing life has to offer. I feel like we are all chasing the softcore life, this, softcore, soft girl, whatever fucking life. But in fact, like, you're chasing nothingness. Do you know what I mean? And sure, challenge feels like the last thing you want to add to your card right now, but it truly will transform you and inform you on who you are in a way that nothing else will in this lifetime, in a way that no friendship or experience or anything like that will. You must challenge yourself. The recent challenge that I put myself through was joining a gym class. You're like, oh, Hannah, that's so simple. That's not a big challenge. Exactly. They don't always have to be climbing Mount Everest. It can be small changes in your life that are going to inform you on who you are. Now, all of a sudden, I am literally a Pilates princess. I cannot go a week without Pilates. Like, I start going insane. It's crazy. I never thought I'd be this person, and I never would have discovered this side of myself if I didn't ask myself, hey, what do I need? What do I want to try? Let me challenge myself. Let me get there. And then the biggest challenge is keep going and then understanding who I am through that. Now, all of a sudden, I know myself better. I know my needs. I understand that working out is good for me and there are healthy forms that I can involve myself in. And I've found a renewed sense of self and life through it. Challenge yourself. Put yourself out there. Do those hard things. The payoff will be so much more worth it than not doing it. I love you. I love you. Sense of self and identity comes through experience, not through psychological analysis of self, but through experience and understanding of the world around you. What's that meme? It's like, you chase identity while your soul rots inside you. Ooh, literally, the outside doesn't matter, okay? Discover the inside. Desperately need to get laid. It's getting bad, girly pops. Girl, if you don't go buy the Rabbit Wand 3000 and get to work, that reminds me, I need to email Adam and Eve. I really want to get a code for you guys because I think my girlies need more sex toys. Do I go back to the guy that makes me feel like I'm alive or stay with my boyfriend? Help. I think you be single. Oh, wow. If my boyfriend was asking, like, do I go back to my ex because she made me feel alive or do I stay with my girlfriend? I'd be like, please leave. Please. No. Your things are packed at the door, actually. Please leave. Not to make fun of you. Thank you for being open and asking your question 1,000%. I think questioning is an important part of living and experiencing. But also, if you find yourself constantly chasing relationships and chasing this excitement in relationships, you're going to be burnt out. And also, you're going to place a lot of your validity as a human on male experience and male acceptance. And I don't know if that's a real way to live. If I was asking this question, I would say you need to be single. Set those men free. Set yourself free, most importantly. My boyfriend says he has no problem giving head, but he never initiates it, and I don't know how to bring it up. Oh, a lot of head questions today. Fantastic. This is what you do. Listen, there's something very manly about looking a man in his eyes and going, eat my pussy. So, like, I get not wanting to verbalize that, but, like, sometimes you just gotta say it, you know what I mean? And sometimes men like it like that, you know, men like a bossy woman sometimes. But sometimes you wanna be like the pillow princess, like, I'm not gonna look my man in the eyes and say that. And valid. I hear you, girls. But also, I think there's a very easy way to go about this. If you want your pussy ate and you're like, I know he will do it and do it well, you know, start making out, start doing your little touchy-feely stuff, whatever. Once the clothes are off and you're on the bed, literally just crawl up to his face. Like, have him lay down as if he's about to get his dick sucked and then sit on his face. Simple. Men have no problem shoving their dick in your face. You know what I mean? Like, if they want head, they will literally just take their pants off and shove their dick in your face. Like, not literally, but also sometimes literally. Like, they're not gonna, like, they'll ask, sure. That sounds a little crazy, but also, like, sometimes it is that forward. And I think women deserve that forwardness, especially when it comes to sex. You know, like, asking consent, fantastic, amazing. We should include, absolutely. But also, like, if you know he has no problem with it and you know he would love to have you sit on his face, like, girl, just crawl up there, you know? And also, if you're a little nervous, I think 69 is the best, like, middle ground. I love a 69 moment. Okay, enjoy. You deserve to get ate like a queen. Always. How to break codependency with my partner as a BPD girly. Ooh, great question from the BPD queen herself. Hi, best pussy disorder. Hello. So I have been in very, very codependent relationships in the past, and that was something that I was aware of, and I saw that it was a downfall of mine, and I was getting into very toxic behaviors. So before I entered this relationship, I really tried to be intentional about the way I went about it to not be as codependent. And sure, I went into it, and as a BPD girly, it's really hard to break that and just to not do it. So it was something that I was actively working on in my relationship early on. And I found, as a BPD girly, the best thing that my partner did for me to make sure that I was not codependent is he had a life outside of me, and he had a very busy, stacked life outside of me. He skates. He's always running around filming stuff with the local skaters. He is always out doing something. He has a job. He's working 6 days a week. He's constantly out of the house. He's constantly busy. Things like that. He had a group of friends. You know, he'll play video games at the end of the day. He has a group of friends he'll play video games with. He has a group of friends that he'll go out to dinner with. He is a very busy person, and I found that the best thing that my partner did for me, especially as a BPD girly, and to heal my codependency, was to not solely rely on me as a form of entertainment. Okay. The most codependent toxic relationships are the ones where people do not have something going on outside of them and only rely on their partner for every single human need possible. That is too much of a weight to put on your partner. And I get being comfortable and wanting to spend all your time with them and wanting to be in romance land. Fantastic. But we as humans need to have hobbies and a life outside of our partner. That's how you heal codependency. And also, what I did for myself was I had a life outside of him. I was very intentional about that. Even if it's not involving other humans, because, like, I'm a little self-isolating in that way, I was doing things. I was going to classes. I was finding new jobs. I was picking up new hobbies. I was doing new things that didn't involve him and really inspired me and encourage my individuality. He was busy, I was busy, but we were still able to come together at the end of the day and spend time together that was enthralling and entertaining. But it did heal the codependency because there was no time to be codependent. Also, I think very healthy, straightforward line of communication is important for codependency. When there's that weird gray middle ground, codependency can be high with BPD people because we are constantly guessing and creating narratives. We do not need the time to create narratives. Be forward with me. Be straightforward with me and tell me what the fuck is going on. I need to be straightforward and ask questions. Even if I feel crazy, I need to be clear about my communication. I need to be clear about my feelings. I need to be clear about what I want in this relationship. Both of us having independent lives outside of each other and a clear form of communication in between is what healed my codependency. I think those things are very important to have in a relationship, and they are what create a sustainable form of relationship. Is unquestionable. We've been together for 5 years. It does not feel like that. It does not feel like that at all. But time flies when you're having fun and not constantly panicking every moment of every day. Longest relationship I feel like I've ever had only lasted 1.5 years. And that felt like 10 years of my life because it was so toxic. It was so codependent. Every day felt like a year. Your relationship should not feel like that. You guys should be garnering your individuality outside of each other. And then also celebrating and uplifting the relationship through clear boundaries, communication together when you are together. Hey, Hannah, I love you. Love you. Struggling to tell if my best friend right now is serving me or not. Please help. The best way to have more positive relationships in your life is to understand that people are not here to serve you. You know that whole online discourse, not really discourse, online fad where it was like, it's just my world and you're living in it. Yeah, that's the quickest way to lose people and build unhealthy relationships in your life. Fastest way ever. Relationships are not there to serve you. They are not there to only function at a capacity that is good for you. Relationships are a give and a take. And it's okay if you feel like my best friend is a little distant right now. Maybe we're not able to hang out as much right now and I miss her. It's okay to identify and understand that feeling within yourself without having to be like, well, I'm cutting her off because she can't be the best amazing person ever for me right now. Okay? It's okay to take a little space from your friends. It's okay to not be able to keep up communication with your friends. This is something that I've learned. And the best way that I have maintained adult friendships in my life is to give people the time and space to be themselves however they want to be, period. That's what a best friend is for, right? They're supposed to accept you and love you no matter what. They're supposed to provide space for you, provide uplifting support for you. They're supposed to be there for you when they can be, but also we want them to be their own human being and show up as themselves fully. That's what makes them your best friend, right? You don't want them to be your little pet that follows you around and only whispers good things in your ear. No one can be that for you. And if you hold people to that unreliable narrative and standard, then you're not going to be able to build or keep worthwhile relationships. Now, there is a question of like, is this person being a bad person to me? And in that case, if they are being a bad person to you by continuously breaking boundaries, saying hurtful, negative things for you, it's okay to also understand that and maybe take space away from them or, cut them off, as the kids say, and remove them from your life. I have done that to people before, yes. But also, I am a big proponent of understanding that people are not there to serve you. People are not there to completely fulfill everything for you. Sometimes we got to do that on our own. And sometimes our friends maybe are preoccupied with something a little bit more. But if you're feeling that sadness in your heart and you're feeling that distance, I say talk to them about it. Hey, are you okay? Is there something going on? Are you busy? Like, what's going on? I want to hear from you. I miss you. That is a very valid thing to ask in a relationship and a very valid thing to ask, especially in a friendship. You will find more understanding in that question than you will in completely removing them from your life. And in fact, I think you'll find a stronger relationship out of asking that question. Hey, are you okay? What's going on? I haven't talked to you in a while. I would love to hang out sometime. Let me know when you're free. Simple things like that, and understanding that relationships are a give and take. No one is here to fully serve you in this life. We don't have court gestures in this life, okay? We got rid of those for a reason. I feel really insecure every time my boyfriend follows a new girl. What should I do? Well, why is he following new girls? I'll go there, because I'm a crazy bitch. Actually, I'm not even crazy. I think it's okay to have boundaries in relationships, specifically boundaries when it comes to interaction with other girls. I'm also highly aware and understanding that men should be able to, and in fact, I highly encourage men to have relationships with women that aren't inherently sexual. I think it's a bigger red flag for men to only see women as sexual beings versus men having a girlfriend, not a girlfriend, but a friend who is a girl. Do you know what I mean? I think that is less of a red flag than men being like, no, I can't speak to any other women because I only see them sexually. Okay. But also, you as a girlfriend are able to have boundaries and say, hey, when you do this thing, I don't like it. It makes me feel weird. It makes me feel like you're doing something shady. And sure, you can call me crazy or whatever. Oh my God, I actually had a crazy girl moment. Should we talk about it? Should we talk about my crazy girl moment? I don't have a lot of these, but occasionally the BPD will hit and I'll start like overthinking things and going a little bit too insane, okay? And like hyping myself up into like a thought process that is fully not based in reality. I'm aware, I understand that. But if I keep that inside and I don't verbalize it, like I'm gonna go more crazy than if I just ask it. Because like, here's the thing. And like thinking back, I'm like, this was such a silly moment because like, hello, obviously nothing was happening. But I like walked into my boyfriend's office and he was on his phone and he immediately turned his phone over and flipped it. He turned it off and flipped it over. And I was like, okay, so what was that? You know what I mean? In my brain, I was like, well, why the fuck did he do that? Like, oh my God, like totally like normal human behavior, started freaking myself out. So he went on playing his video games, whatever. I went to my room and was like, well, why is he doing this? Well, does he not like me? Was he cheating on me? Like, what's going on? Like, what is he doing on his phone? Why did he flip it over? Like, hyper analyzing these things. Finally, he comes to lay down for bed and I'm like, okay, I can keep this to myself. I can keep my crazy to myself, which I'm not good at doing. Or I can bring it up because like, what if something was going on? Why not just bring it up? If I have a problem in my relationship, even if it is not based in reality, but I'm having a little bit of a crazy moment, the best thing I can do for my partner and to heal that part of myself is to just bring it up in the moment. Hey, I saw this. It made me feel this way. I don't know if it's based in reality, but I thought I would bring it up because it is something that I'm struggling with right now. And I just wanted to ask you what was going on. I would like for you to tell me why you did this, period. And if your man tries to go, oh, well, you do this all the time and tries to flip it on you, you know what you hit them with? You hit them with which he didn't, obviously, because he's a sweetheart. But I have had men do this where it's like, no, gaslight, flip it on you. Oh, you want to blame me of something? No, I'm going to blame you. Pause. I am speaking at the podium right now. If you have a problem with me, you can bring that up at another time. But for right now, I am literally holding the proverbial relationship mic. I am on the stand, and we are going to talk about a problem that I am having right now, and we are going to address it. Okay, we are going to get to the bottom of it because I'm not feeling good about this thing. Doesn't mean I'm insecure. Doesn't mean I am not loving of myself or loving of you. I am just having an issue with one thing and you are my partner, and I'm really hoping that you can help me work through why I may be feeling this sort of way, or maybe provide me a little bit of reassurance. I think it's okay to ask your partner to provide you reassurance. If your man is following other women and it makes you feel weird, I think that is very normal for a human to feel, because why is that happening? Okay? Bring it up. Bring it up. Please. Please, for the love of God, bring that shit up to him. Ask him, hey, why did I just see you follow this person, this person, this person, this person? Do you know them in real life? Like, did you just make these friends? Like, who are these friends you just met? And if he tries to flip it on you, no, I'm holding the mic. Let's go over what I'm going over. Okay? If you have a problem with me, you can bring that up at a different time. But right now, it's my time to shine, and we're going to talk about it. If you hold boundaries in your relationship, if you want to hold boundaries in your relationship, you have to set those boundaries. You have to bring them up. And if he wants to follow them, he can. If he's a good boyfriend, he will. But if he's a bad boyfriend and does not give a fuck, you will notice in the future that he will keep doing these things. And at that point, after you've brought up your boundaries and how it makes you feel, hey, I don't want you following other girls randomly. It makes me feel weird. It makes me not feel good about myself. It is stemming from a behavior that you are engaging in. I understand if I'm crazy or whatever you want to blame me, but that does not deny me of the feelings that I'm having as a human being. Boundary setting. I would like for you to simply stop engaging in these behaviors, following other women, liking other women's posts, things like that. It looks bad on me as a woman, as your girlfriend. It looks bad on you. It looks like you have a wandering eye. And C, you have to give it time. See if he does those things again. Once you notice, okay, maybe he stopped doing these things. I set a boundary, he stopped doing those things. Thank you, love you. Or I set a boundary, he keeps doing them. He doesn't give a fuck about my boundaries. That's when you have to make a choice. Do I stay here and constantly have my boundaries broken and constantly have things that I don't like people engaging with happen in my life? Or do I move on and find somebody who will listen to me, who will understand my feelings, who will validate me and provide me reassurance, and will listen to my boundaries? It's a whole process, I understand, but you are allowed to feel things in your relationship. You are allowed to hold your partner to boundaries, okay? I literally brought this up to him. I was like, listen, I know this is going to sound crazy, but if you call me crazy, I'm going to lose my shit on you. I'm going to lose it. But I saw this thing. It made me feel crazy. I'm asking for reassurance. Immediately, that man provided me reassurance. I love you, baby. Here's my phone if you want to look through it. Go for it, whatever. I don't want you to feel negative. I didn't mean to make you feel negative about this thing. I love you. Let's keep it pushing. Like, it's not that deep. But I hear you and I understand you. But like, I love you. Let's cuddle. Let's go to bed. That's ultimately, in my opinion, how your partner should react. I've been in relationships before where it's like, hey, I feel this way. You're making me feel this way. And it completely gets flipped on me. Well, I'm doing this because you do this. Well, I'm doing this because it's your fault. It's your fault. You should feel bad. It's your fault. You should not be in a relationship that your partner does that to you at all. Okay, I'm crazy, my partner's also crazy, but I'll hear him out when he has a problem, 1,000%. And that's what your partner should do for you. If you have a boundary in your relationship, hold them to it. Okay, I'm tired of these men getting away with weird, shady shit. Ask them. Okay, what were you doing there? Who's this girl? View the reaction, make a necessary change if needed. Love you. How to deal with a condescending coworker that makes you feel stupid? Ooh. I know this is a one-liner that I bring up a lot. Wow, what a weird thing to say to somebody. But I like to hit people with that. I have this coworker who, like, every time I see her, she will hit me with like a really mean, condescending one-liner that I'm like, oh wow, that made me feel really negative, and I don't know why you would say that out loud. I walked into work on Friday and she saw me, and I'm ovulating, okay? And when I'm ovulating, I get neck acne and chin acne. It's a part of life. I'm a woman. It is what it is. Bitch, I'm 25. Yes, I get acne. What? Hello. Who cares? I walk into work. Takes one look at me. She goes, oh, nice hickey. I was like, no, actually, it's neck acne. Thank you for pointing it out. I was really hoping no one would notice. She goes, yeah, well, everybody's going to notice and everybody's going to think it's a hickey. Like, what a weird thing to point out about somebody. What a strange thing to say about somebody. What a weird thing to say. And immediately, as soon as I hit them with the one-liner of like, wow, why would you bring that up? What a strange thing to say to somebody. Thank you for pointing that out to me, but I really did not need to hear that right now. They immediately, every time somebody says something wrong and then gets hit with one of those one-liners, they immediately backtrack. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. You're taking it too seriously. You just got to walk away. You got to walk away. Let them sit with the emotion. But like, I've met those bitches and you really just can't. Don't engage. All you got to do is hit them with the one-liners of like, now, why would you say that to somebody? What a strange thing to say. What a weird thing to say out loud. I know, but you don't have to bring that up. That's when they start going, oh, no, I didn't mean that. You got to walk away. I love a one-liner and walk away always. Someone said, help, I need to end it with my situationship for my own mental sanity. Any advice? Yes, I have advice. Honestly, proud of you. 1,000%. A lot of women find themselves in situationships constantly chasing a man that they know will never love them and constantly pining after this desire of wanting to be loved by something that truly will never love you. And you will find yourself in a constant, endless spiral of depreciating behavior and just negative thoughts and feelings and engaging in self-harming behavior. Yes, sex can be self-harming behavior. Please understand that as a woman. Just because it feels good doesn't mean it's good for you. Always, okay? Doesn't mean it's always good for you. I think we know that, but also I think a lot of people find themselves in situationships and be like, well, we're just hooking up. Well, are you hooking up or is that self-harm? Ooh. Anyways, I think you need to be forward. Hey, I've made it abundantly clear what I'm looking for. I think I can only do a relationship right now. I know you can't provide that for me. Please don't reach out again. Block. End story. Literally. I love a block and walk away. I love here's how I'm feeling. Here's what you did to me. Here's why I'm not doing it anymore. Goodbye. I love that. I'm also a little bit better at splitting just because I am a borderline queen. But like, as soon as you make that decision in your life, it's pretty easy to move on. Once you make the hard decision of like, I'm speaking what's on my mind, you're going to listen to me, and then I'm also going to just leave because I've already decided. Like, don't speak in order to change someone's mind. Speak because of how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way, and then move on. Block, move on. If you can't physically, like mentally split as easy as other people, physically split, okay? No contact, blocking, deleting pictures. Tell your friends, I got rid of them. Do not bring them up. Things like that, things of the such, and move forward with your life. I guarantee as soon as you send the message, and don't do this in person. Do not do this in person, because best believe he still wants the free sex. He still wants all that shit. And he will say whatever he can say in that moment to keep you there, to keep dragging you along. Text it. Send the paragraph, send the message, whatever it is, block, delete, move on. As soon as you send those things and hit the block button, I guarantee you will feel angel wings sprouting out of your back. Like, you will feel like a renewed sense of self and identity, and you will feel so proud of yourself. It'll feel so nice. And in fact, as soon as you do that, it's kind of like a literal it's like a literal split. So you don't have to mentally split, but once you do those things, you will feel such a weight off your shoulders that physically I feel like you won't be able to go back. Sure, you'll have thoughts about it, but I don't think you will actually desire to, because you will feel so proud of yourself, so understanding of yourself, like you've done a good thing for yourself finally, that you won't want to jeopardize that standing that you now have with yourself. Your relationship with yourself is so important. You must have trustworthiness with yourself, forgiveness for yourself, and desire to do better always. So show up in whatever ways you need. Send those texts if you have to. Break up with those people if you need. Whatever you need to do to make yourself feel like a more actualized and understanding person, and like a more whole person, like a more whole self, then do those things immediately. Especially if you want a good relationship with yourself. What's the freakiest thing a guy has ever asked you to do? I don't know. I really distance myself from the freaky freaks. You know what I mean? I really tried to like not engage with the weirdos. I don't know. I've never had any weird people where it's like, please engage with my furry kink, you know, where it's like, will you wear a tail? Nothing like that has ever happened. Nothing weird where it's like, can you dress up for me? Luckily, I guess I've engaged with just pretty average men like that. I don't know. No like real freaks. Biggest freak really ever is just my boyfriend right now. Which, like, I guess the craziest thing we've ever done is, like, anal? I don't know. Which, honestly, isn't that crazy. And, in fact, did enjoy. Hot take for the women out there. I understand men always pressure, like, oh, we should really do anal. And if you don't want to, you do not have to. And if a man is pressuring you to do anything, please, for the love of God, leave. Please, because he feels like he has autonomy over your body, and that's the biggest red flag out there. Okay, no man should ever feel like they have a priority and autonomy over your body, ever. Okay, anyways, he definitely like went about it in a very professional manner, in a way that I felt safe and comfortable, and I did experiment quite often in that realm. And I did enjoy. You gotta go slow. You gotta go slow. Maybe start with a butt plug. Maybe stretch it out a little bit. But if you feel like you're in a safe space and you feel like you and your partner can get a little freakier than usual and you want to try new things out, oh my God, highly, highly, highly recommend. That's what sex is for. It's what having a good partner is for. Like, let's explore. Let's see what turns each other on. Let's get a little crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, nothing like really, really weird or kinky or wild. Like maybe handcuffs, maybe body oil, maybe bondage tape. That's fun. But like nothing like crazy, crazy, I think, in my opinion. But also like I say that stuff and I think a lot of people are like, no, that's wild. I'm just like, I have a lot of friends who are very sexual in nature. I have a lot of sex worker friends, and it's like the things I hear from them, I'm like, whoa. But I think for the average human, like what I do is also a little crazy. Someone said, please tell my bestie Kira, I think that's her name. Kira, I think it's Kira. Jody says, hi, we love you and your pod. Hey, babe. I love all the friends who listen to the podcast together. That is so cute. I've been getting a lot of people who are like, my bestie put me on to you. Hey, hopefully you guys can listen together and enjoy. Someone said, how do I be your level of pretty? Okay, let's get into it because I was an ugly duckling for a long time, and nothing physically changed about me at all. From when I was an ugly duckling to now, where everybody's like, oh my God, you're gorgeous, you're amazing, you're sexy, you're hot, I love you. Which, thank you for those compliments. You guys are so genuinely sweet. I appreciate every single one of those. Nothing physically has changed for me to get me from ugly duckling to this. Nothing. I haven't had any surgery done. I really haven't like physically changed that much, especially from like working out. I've noticed a little bit now after doing Pilates, but that's like within the last month, okay? Nothing has physically changed about me, but everything internally has changed about me. Everything. The way I think about myself, the way I present myself to the world, the standards that I hold myself to, the way that I think about myself and appreciate myself and uphold my self-worth, that is the true beauty. That is what got me from ugly duckling to hottie McHottie, fat titty, fat ass, baddie, Instagram baddie, lovely hot girl. That's what got me there. How I feel about myself and how I uplift myself is what got me out of that ugly duckling phase. You do not need those lip fillers. You do not need those boob implants. You do not need that lipo. You do not need the quick fix. The quickest fix and the thing that will make you the most beautiful is genuinely how you feel about yourself and how you engage in self-talk and how you uphold your standards. Sure, in the way you dress and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, if you want to glow, it's not from the outside, it's from the inside out, okay? I genuinely believe once my mindset shifted and I was like, you know what? Actually, I am hot. You know what? Actually, I am a baddie. I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks about me. I don't care if nobody's ever dated me. I looked in that mirror and I stopped calling myself ugly. We talked about this a couple podcasts ago where it's like you create your own narrative, okay? I stopped calling myself ugly. I stopped calling myself fat. I stopped calling myself worthless. I stopped looking in the mirror and hating what I saw, and I started switching the narrative. Even if I was maybe feeling those things internally, I would not verbalize them. I switched the narrative, okay? You know what? No, I am hot. No, I am sexy. I am deserving of love. I'm the baddest bitch who's ever walked this fucking earth, okay? I am Aphrodite reincarnated. Once I started verbalizing those things to myself and I started believing them and I started actually holding boundaries and actually having self-worth and understanding that I'm deserving of good things and going after those things, building trust in myself, building forgiveness in myself, wanting to grow and develop as a human being, that's when I became beautiful. Okay, that is true beauty. All the most beautiful people I know, the sexiest people I know, the most confident people I know are not the Kylie Jenners. They're not the physical, quote unquote, societal embodiment of beauty, but they are an otherworldly kind of beauty that money cannot buy because it simply comes from self-belief and self-confidence, period. None of them look alike. None of them have the same body. None of them have the same hair color. None of them look alike whatsoever. And that truly is what true beauty is the fact that none of us are going to be the same or look the same ever. And that is what true beauty is. I love that. I love that we are all so individual. I think there's beauty in individuality. But the true glow that you experience from these people are from the work that they have done on themselves internally, are from the confidence that they hold within themselves that stems from the narrative that they've created around themselves of, no, I am beautiful. No, I am gorgeous. No, I am loved because I love myself. I'm confident because I don't need what other people say about me because I know I'm worthy of good things. I'm full of self-love because I provide myself with everything I desire and need. I think a great way to enact this in your daily life is, yes, to not engage in self-depreciating talk or behavior. What you speak becomes your reality no matter what. Sometimes we like to say these, I want to die jokes, I'm ugly jokes, but like you will truly start believing that. We are more susceptible than we actually think. Those jokes are not funny at all. But I think the best way, and I talked about this a little bit on the Patreon pod, which is public on YouTube, as you guys know, the most recent one. But I do think you need to date yourself a little bit. If you don't know how to garner that self-love within or that self-confidence or that trust within, A, challenge yourself like I talked about earlier, but B, I think you need to date yourself. I think dating yourself is so important. The most important relationship that we hold in this lifetime is the one that we have with ourselves. We are born alone, well, kind of, but we most definitely will die alone. That's for sure. The only person that we are going to have from beginning to end is ourselves. The most important relationship that you build in this lifetime is the one that you have with yourself. And to garner a good relationship with yourself, self-talk is important, challenging is important, but you need to build that love within. And if you do not know how to love yourself, that is a huge issue, okay? How come you know how to love everybody else but yourself? That is a big problem. Pisces full moon lunar eclipse. Why do you love everybody else more than yourself? Why do you constantly want to exist in other people's lives, to be good in other people's lives, but you refuse to be good in your own? It's a big problem we're seeing nowadays. You will never find self-worth through somebody else, but you will always find self-worth through yourself, okay? Take yourself out on a date. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Tell yourself you look sexy in that dress. Oh my God, I'm going to dress up for a special occasion with myself. I'm going to go try that new restaurant by myself. I'm going to go out dancing by myself. I'm going to lather myself in body oil and speak positive affirmations to myself. I do that once a week. And in fact, it is fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend the Glossier body oil. It smells like fresh jasmine. Oh, it's so good. I go to bed like slicked like that baby hippo that you see on TikTok. You guys see that TikTok? The little baby hippo with his feet like that. And he's always oiled up for some reason. That's me when I go to bed. And I feel like a goddess every single time because I am speaking positivity into myself. I'm taking care of myself. I'm being that dream girl who does all those dream things because I'm doing them. I'm holding myself to those standards and I'm achieving them. I'm dating myself. I'm adorning myself. I'm speaking highly of myself only and always. That is where true beauty comes from. I love you. You're all so very beautiful and gorgeous. Even if you don't believe it about yourself, I am saying it now. You are all so beautiful and so gorgeous, and you deserve a good, healthy, positive relationship with yourself. You deserve to glow just as much as me. But I'm not going to sit here and say it came from beauty treatments or, certain things that you have to buy or inject or enhance about yourself. I'm telling you right now, it comes from belief, understanding, and love for yourself. And it's going to be a hard journey, but it's going to be the most worthwhile journey that you have ever taken in your life. Quality of life skyrocketed for me once I just started shifting my relationship with myself and I started realizing, you know what? No matter what I look like, I deserve to be loved, especially by myself. That's when I became beautiful. But I love you all so much. This was a fun little episode. I miss hanging out with you guys. Every time I hang out with you, it just gives me such like a renewed sense of self in life. And it's so nice. I love that we've created this community where it's like, you know what? Fuck the noise. We're going to come here. We're going to have a good time. Let's smoke a bowl. I haven't smoked a bowl with you guys in a while just because, like, recently when I've been smoking, my brain's been shutting down. Usually when I smoke, I can step into that creative space, but I have been cutting back on smoking actually recently. Surprise, surprise. I just cannot keep up with it like I used to. My brain cannot keep up with it like I used to. I also feel like I used to smoke so often just to kind of drain the noise. And I was smoking like at 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. every single day. That is just not sustainable. Not a sustainable way to live. I was checking out from life, and I do want to engage in life a little bit more. And I do want like to get high and enjoy the experience instead of just like tuning out the noise. So it's actually late enough in the day. We can smoke a little bowl, but I've been kind of pushing it backwards. Like, okay, maybe I'll smoke a bowl at 3, and then maybe I'll smoke a bowl at 6, and then maybe I'll take a dab at 9, and then I'll go to bed, versus a bowl every 30 minutes from 11 till 11. That's a problem. That was a problem. Not anymore. Thank God. Who knows? Maybe I'll develop a better relationship, have some more days off, and I'll be able to engage in that sort of way. But for now, sometimes you got to listen to your body and listen to what you need and what you want and engage in that healthy direction. I see it. I saw it. I feel it. You got to change it up sometimes. But with that being said, let's smoke a bowl and then we'll say our goodbyes. All right, cheers. Let's hit this. Love you all. Stay sexy. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. You're hot and you know it. I'll see you all next week. Mwah.